The Supreme Court has not exactly been the pinnacle of good decisions lately. I think that's very obvious for most people at this point. They recently decided to uphold Obamacare as well now. But they did make an actual good decision. They did make a good decision today, and that was to side with the Catholic agency in a foster care dispute. So this was dealing with an issue between a foster care agency and who they could basically give these children out to. So the Supreme Court on just today, on Thursday, unanimously sided with a Catholic foster care agency that says its religious views prevent it from working with same-sex couples as foster parents, which is common sense, a part of how any religious-based organization would operate. And so this is all from an issue that was raised in 2018 from a newspaper reporter that the agency would not certify same-sex couples to become foster parents. The city has said it requires that the 24 plus foster care agencies it work with not discriminate as part of their contracts. The city asked the Catholic agency to change its policy, but the group declined. As a result, Philadelphia stopped referring additional children to the agency. The thing is here is that this should have been common sense. It's not really discrimination. This is the problem when you make the homosexuality or transsexuals and whatever else they want to classify next. This is the problem when you make them this protected class, is that you have to forego the rights of being a religious person, of having a religious company or religious agency. You have to pick one over the other, right? And ultimately, the First Amendment is obviously, first of all, protecting speech, but it's secondly protecting the freedom of religion. And the thing is that left-wing people hate that. They hate it so much, and they want to change everything there is about that. So they're saying it's against the religious beliefs, obviously, to have same-sex couples adopting children from a Christian or Catholic agency. And they're saying, and what the left-wing people are saying is that no, it shouldn't be that way. That's discrimination. They should be thrown in jail for this. And that's where we're starting here. So first of all, it is good to see that the Supreme Court voted in favor of this Catholic agency. But it goes on where there is a statement from the actual agency saying there is no record that at any time a same-sex couple has ever worked or ever asked the agency or asked to work with the agency. So in other words, there was never a couple that even approached this Catholic agency whatsoever. It was just some random guy that said, hey, they're Catholic, they don't believe in this, so I'm just going to go ahead and try to shame them for it. They did say in such a case, the couple would have been referred to a different group. Catholic Social Services has said also that because of its beliefs, the Catholic agency does not certify unmarried couples, right? They're not going to give children that have had a bad life or whatever, the neglected, whatever the situation may be, to a single mother. Some of these things are just common sense. A lot of it is biblical. That wasn't the structure that God had set up for the family, to have just a single parent or whatever, even though things happen. And especially to put a child that needs structure in an unstructured situation doesn't make sense either. And what they're saying here is, look, if a gay couple had approached us, we would have just told them to go somewhere else. It's a free country. That's why we're not the only foster care agency out there. But this was something that was literally a journalist trying to attack them, trying to scrape them under the rug and say, you know what? These people, they won't do this. They won't help or allow for gay couples to do this because it's against their religious beliefs. That's discrimination. Now, don't be surprised if you don't start seeing this stuff at your churches, any other religious organizations, religious schools, you name it. They're going to start doing this not because some person actually tried to fight for it to happen, but because they can get away with it. There was this story that Thomas Sowell was talking about where he was talking about the equal opportunity for employment and how there was, I think it was with Sears, there was this lawsuit that was brought up against Sears where they were saying that their women's department was discriminating against women somehow. and that I don't know, maybe it was the selection of the clothes that they had or something like that. Somehow it was discriminating against women. I think it was because the price of women's clothes were marked up a little higher because women value clothing a lot more than men typically do and are willing to pay more money for clothes than men are typically willing to pay for. But that's beside the point. So they put up this lawsuit against Sears. And Sears effectively is trying to fight this thing off. They're paying all this money. I think it took them like 10 years to get this thing settled out finally. But the thing was that when they actually looked into the report, name one woman that came forward and said, hey, I feel like Sears is discriminating against me because of the prices or whatever the reason is. There wasn't one. At no point did the judge or anyone else have to prove that a woman had a problem with the prices in the store. It was just this other entity saying, hey, we've got a problem with it, even though we can't find one witness that substantiates our claim or has a problem with it, for example. They couldn't find one and they didn't need to find one. That's the problem that we have in our country right now. And you're going to see the same kind of thing start happening with these other religious organizations where you don't need to have a gay person apply to be preacher at a church. They can just sue you for it and hope that they can get a discrimination charge on your back on you for it. That's scary. It shouldn't be happening at all. Like, at least let there be somebody that tried to do it first. But once again, it's all about the optics. That's all this is about. Bringing it to the Supreme Court for no good reason whatsoever. You just watched a clip from The William Hall Show. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe.